Hey guys, how's it going? And today I have a rather short replay for you, one of two that I'd like to put out this week. This one is from DerKrampus in his Cleveland, the Tier 6 American cruiser. And he just goes to town on this enemy team on this side of the map. And he gets really lucky in a few instances, but he rips them apart and gets a really quick Kraken and finishes top on his team. And I thought it was really entertaining to watch, and I hope you guys like this too, because the way he actually plays his Cleveland versus how the enemy cruisers are going to face him shows how a decent player, when they know how to control their ship, how they can just prosper in these mid to low tier matches. But as we go in, we're following a tier 3 Wix and a tier 4 Kuma in towards the A point on fault line. And we have a Mutsuki following us. So that's basically all we're gonna have for support on this side of the map, other than maybe our carriers help, because one of our carriers is divisioned with DerKrampus, so we might get his support once in a while. But that fighter just realized there's a Cleveland over here and is making his way to the opposite edge of the map, or basically wherever the Cleveland isn't, because Cleveland has amazing anti-aircraft for its tier. The guns are kinda, well, they're fast firing, but they're kinda meh because of their shell arc. But we're gonna figure out that you can still aim them pretty well in a couple of seconds here. There's an enemy Midikaze, two of them to be exact. And this one over here, he's not gonna fare too well, because there he goes, he just got himself stuck on the side of that island. And here comes a couple Cleveland shells, and this poor guy. Detonation for the first blood. One shell hit him and just absolutely detonated him. That poor guy. But Krampus isn't done yet. There's still another Midikaze. There's a Tier 6 Bedanye, the Russian Tier 6, and the Tier 5 Russian cruiser, the Kirov, over there, that we still have to deal with. So, this Midikaze, decent hit. We got a lot of his stuff on his ship knocked out, but didn't kill him. We got some good damage off, and it looks like he just popped his damage control. So hopefully we can knock something else out on his ship. And nope, whiffed it. Like I said, that Cleveland has the the really funky shell arc, and it's not fun to use. But doesn't matter when you detonate every destroyer that you shoot at. And here's a Königsberg, the German Tier 5 cruiser. And Königsberg's a really good ship, unless you're broadside to a Cleveland that's also shooting armor piercing, who is angled against you. There's two Citadels. Königs, you might want to turn away? I don't know. Too late. There's another Citadel for you, buddy. Poor guy. I guess they have to learn to angle their armor at some point, right? And there's a decent hit off on the no, that was the Kirov. Here's the Bedanye. And, obviously he hasn't learned from the mistakes of I just forgot the name of the German Tier 5 for a second. He hasn't learned from the mistakes of the other cruiser that he just got sunk, because he's now sailing broadside to a Cleveland. And there's two Citadels from him so far. And he's at half health, and he's done basically nothing to Krampus's Cleveland here. Yeah, there's a decent hit, but come on. He does have torps, 4 kilometers. And will he dodge them? It looks like he did. And doesn't matter for that Bedanye. He is done. Are you not learning to not show your Citadels? You just saw Königsberg get absolutely destroyed. And now we get to feast on this Kirov over here, who shouldn't be too hard. He's only a Tier 5, but he does have more health than us. And he has actually really decent guns. When I had a Kirov, I mean, I hated the ship, but I could 1v1 Clevelands in it. Especially half-health Clevelands. And we might see that here. Maybe this Kirov has learned from the Königsberg and the Boudienne not to show his broadside to a Cleveland that's very obviously shooting armor piercing. Something that you see a lot of Clevelands not do because they like to fire their high explosive. And looks like the enemy carriers just took notice that this Cleveland's actually pushing pretty hard over here. And doesn't look like the Kirov's learned. He is trying to torpedo. Hopefully we can dodge those. The defensive fire's activated. These torpedoes are going to be easily avoided. Defensive fire was almost enough to stop the dive bombers. Just throwing damage into this poor Kirov over here. There's another Citadel. And our last shot as he dies kills the Kirov. Another Citadel from that stupid broadside cruiser. And that secures him the Kraken award. So, really quick Kraken. It only took him about 6 minutes to get that Kraken. And he absolutely decimated that side of the map with basically just him, Akuma, and, well, a Wix. I guess that Mutsuki was over there too, the one that's still sailing around right there. But I didn't see much of the other ships. Yeah, either way, they were there. They were, and I guess they supported. But 5 kills really quick, and just absolutely decimating those poor unlucky destroyers and those really stupid cruisers that decided to go broadside. Hopefully they will take a lesson from that and learn to, you know, angle their armor. But these are the kind of players that I like following into fights, because you know they're going to push and they know how to aim. Plus they have a lot of luck on their side, aka the 2 detonations. And that helps a lot when you need some support from them. So, really fast Kraken there, and really entertaining to watch. And rolling into the first of the after battle reports, almost 500,000 credits earned, almost 4,000 experience. First Blood will always give it a nice little Zulu flag. The Kraken Unleashed award gives some really nice flags for extra EXP earned, and 2 devastating strikes from detonating those poor destroyers. Only 84 hits, but if you think about it, all the damage that he did with those 84 hits is a lot more than just some Cleveland sitting at range and firing high explosive at a battleship or something. And he got 11 Citadel hits on those cruisers that just decided to sit broadside to him. So a really good game just based on the first end screen. And of course, the second end screen supports that claim, showing that he earned 2,500 base experience just in the 6 minutes that he was alive. Just completely pushing that objective and destroying everything that got in his way. And that was really good on his part. He finished the top of his team for, well, being one of the only ones who died and one of the first ones who died. So, really good job to him there. And of course, the final damage report shows he did about 92,000 damage total in the game, and 67,000 of that was just with armor piercing. Unlike most Clevelands, you don't see only high explosive being fired. He got up close with those poor stupid cruisers that decided to go broadside and didn't learn from the other cruisers that went broadside and got sunk, and he just farmed damage on them constantly all that game. So a really good shooting to him, and really well played for finishing the top of his team and just destroying that flank, ensuring that his team had an easy victory thanks to not having to worry about that side of the map. So, really good job to him. Thanks to the replay. Sorry this one's so short, guys, but I do hope to have another one out later this week. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great week.